Welcome back to the Holotable Games Network. I'm Ginger Joey.
And I'm Liminal Corey.
Huh?
Liminal, as in the liminal space, as in liminal spaces, as in back rooms. The internet thing, back rooms, in the new movie that came out, back rooms. Nope, nothing. Somebody doesn't spend enough time on the internet, obviously.
Nope.
No
No,
idea.
my roommate was talking to me about that. It's that one that came out, and then there's like another one about like the endless bathroom or something else like that. You got to like spot the difference in what the bathroom is.
Exit 8. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah,
The,
yeah.
the hallway. It's not the bathroom. Yeah, but
Oh,
it's a,
sorry,
it's
the
a hallway.
hallway.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Those
yeah,
are
yeah.
like the
Exit
those
8.
are like the two most recent like viral video games turned movies or whatever. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, Backrooms is not a video game. Backrooms was a YouTube. It's a crazy story. Literally, this 15-year-old kid making YouTube videos of just like weird, creepy things that he started in 2020, making these things. And they just did so well on YouTube. He got a movie deal. He's 21 years old now and
so
just made this movie. And it's really good.
he turned a kink into millions of dollars. Interesting.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. It's what you did in 2020, basically.
Okie
Uh,
dokie.
but yeah, I mean, good on him. And yeah, like that's awesome for him. And the fun fact I just recently learned is he's also the son of a ex Telltale designer, Telltale, who did like the Walking Dead games and all that
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
He's one of their kids, which is awesome.
There you go.
Good on him. There's talent in that family.
This is our weekly SWUmary, where we go over Star Wars Unlimited stuff that happened over the last week. Well, this last week there was 6 PQs, several limited,
Yeah.
couple regulars, and 1 eternal. The season's kind of over.
Yeah, there's nothing major. I mean, if you still have events, we've talked about what you need to prepare for, and nothing has changed.
No.
More control is what we're seeing because, of course, we are. But that's about it.
So we're not going to really pour into that so much. We're going to pour into the thing that everybody's kind of shifting gears towards, which is ashes, ashes, and more
Yes.
ashes. So,
And what a week for Ashes it was.
yep, 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 yep,
we
yep.
uh, we got the full set, guys. Apparently, once again, same as last year, it leaked to somebody, and rather than have any teams have an unfair competitive edge, FFG did the right thing and just said, "We're just going to put it all out now." So good on FFG. Not good on the leakers and people trying to find ways to cheat. Screw those people.
My,
But
my question
otherwise,
is, was it the same people as it was last year, or was it different?
have not seen any real
If
details.
if it was the same people, that would be shame on FFG because fool me once, right?
That's true. Yes.
If it was
Yeah.
different people, who in our community is being that way? Because come on, we're normally better than that, right?
I would hope so, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't understand who got a hold of it, who leaked it. But that said, I will say, I think this is better for galactic preparation. Obviously, this gives everyone more time. I think it could have. I didn't like that. We weren't going to get the full spoiler originally planned. I think until like the end of this month. I think it didn't need to be quite this early, but in the next week or two, we probably really needed to have the full set because testing is necessary before
No,
Galactus.
but
You need
it's
time.
but I kind of wonder what kind of an outcome would come out of it if people
That's
didn't
true.
have the time to prep. I
With
mean,
less
because
testing, yeah.
yes, because even the teams that are out there that are well established, right?
Yeah.
They are gonna be doing their due diligence with the cards that they know about. But in the same frame, how much I don't want to say it the wrong way. Not how much worse, but how much of an edge could you have over those teams when we're like, hey, this is so fresh that we all only had like a couple weeks to like deal with it kind of thing, right?
Yeah,
So
that's fair.
because I feel like the more work that gets put in, the more time that you have to prepare, the more it leans towards the teams that are like focused on this stuff to do better versus the average Joe Schmo coming up out of podunk nowhere going, hey, I did it. Because I had the same,
Yeah.
it's no different than playing constructed versus playing sealed. right? There's better
Yeah.
sealed players than there are constructed players because they thrive in that format of, hey, it's, kind of take what you get and see what you can have instead of, hey, I had the pocketbook or whatever to throw and get all the cards for the best deck that's out there, and now I can run you into the ground with it.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't know.
fair. I mean, yeah, and maybe we'll see in future years if we ever do get one where it doesn't leak ahead of time.
I hope
I
so.
don't think Fantasy Flight's planning to try to change the schedule, so I'm assuming it's still going to be the same. So we'll see.
With the way that Icons is scheduled to come out, and they did
I
announce that there is already some scheduling changes that will be happening in 2027. So what that means, we don't know yet, but people are speculating that we're somewhat moving to a 4 set year.
don't like that. That is one of the things that's going to get me to start looking at other games. I'm not happy about that. I'm still going to be playing, but this is definitely going to. I don't like that. I liked the set schedule. I didn't want to get bloated like Magic. I think 3 a year was the perfect number. I was happy with this. I do not want a mini set that's not really a mini set. So I'm not happy about that at all.
There's pros to it though. For your pocketbook, it's a come on. For your
Yes.
potentially more events, more games to play, less downtime from lag from set to set, I think there's some positives to look at here. Um, I think the only real negative is pocketbook.
Yeah.
Because there
It's
is
a real
definitely
negative.
times where the meta gets solved like a month after the set comes out, and then it's just 2 more months of the same fleshed out, yay, okay, same thing over and over and over again. Kind of gets like redundant. Now we can shorten that period by having another set involved.
I yes and no. I mean, we have had that. Yes, I would say like I don't feel like this last set had that. I feel like there was still yes, we had a lot of these are the most common decks in the meta, but a lot of things were still doing well. So I think the extended time worked really well this set. And I think I like having people to have time to brew their counters and then their counters to the counters and let the meta develop that way. As long as we don't have one overpowered dominant deck, Han too, I'm looking at you. That just kind of just makes the meta not fun.
I will give you that. I mean, with the shorter seasons, if they go to the 4 sets, we don't know that they are, but if you have less time to come up with the counter to the initial meta, then you're going to have a lot of copycat people just using whatever that meta was, and then the season's over, and then they move on to the next thing. So I will give
Yep.
you that it's going to be a little bit more like knee jerky as far as what's going to be strong and whatnot. The one thing I will say about the last set, though, I personally enjoyed Lawless because of the limited game.
Oh
And
yeah, limited was the best
I think a
by far.
lot of that had to do with the splash bases personally. And I think
Mhm.
without the splash bases, we might suffer a little bit in the limited department because I think they just opened up a lot of diversity that allowed people to recover from a okay pool opposed to having like the I got the nuts. So
Yeah.
I don't know that it's going to be as good of a limited feel after this set because of the lack of splash bases, though.
No, I will. And I'll be honest, I'm looking over this set full spoiler list and going, I'm not overly excited for what this meta looks like it's going to be in the limited aspect. I foresee it being a lot of shielded Mandalorian tokens freaking everywhere, and they're driving me crazy. We'll talk about that more. And a lot of a lot of annoyances basically, and nothing I'm like loving, at least in the limited aspect. Like
Well,
looking over it, I'm not excited about this for limited. I'm still going to play it. Don't get me wrong, and I might be wrong. We might do pre-release, and it's awesome. But
yeah,
I'm excited, like I am with this set's limited. So I'm with you on that. The splash bases were amazing for limited.
yeah. Well, we'll see after all that pans out as Ashes releases and we get our pre-releases going on and everything. I think we just had our first store at least announce their pre-release when they're going to
Oh
be
yep,
doing theirs.
yep.
So
Super sealed nonetheless. I got
I
signed up for that for Red Castle.
I have to do that still. I got the notice, but I couldn't do it yet. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, so going forward, we're gonna like I asked Corey to give me give me like your top, say, like 5 cards that you think are going to have a big impact in things going forward that you've seen from the list so far. So he did that, and then I came up with a few of them that I think are going to have some interesting interactions as well. We're not going to go over
Yeah.
like every single card because that would take a while. And as we like discover things and see things, the interactions are really what you want to like stand out and see. So starting off, we have Corey
Yeah.
bringing us Paz
Yes. So
Vizla.
we're starting off with Paz Vizsla. So this is a little bit of a cheat, and not the only time I'm going to cheat a little bit. It's not Paz Vizsla specifically, although I do think Paz Vizsla is a very good Sentinel for any the blue green deck. I think he's great. I think the when defeated is very good. So I think he's excellent. But it's more from what I'm seeing from testing is Mandalorian tokens are obnoxious, and this is a good example of that. They are going to be everywhere, and they are a problem to deal with. A shielded 2/2 is annoying. We've known this from going back to what's his name, the yellow guy, the cunning, the gunslinger guy. I can't remember who it was. Originally 2/2 with shielded.
The gunslinger guy. The one that comes to my hand right now is the Secret of Sage, because that's the one that we see all the
No,
time at the moment. Which
no,
is the same
the
thing.
yellow one from Spark of Rebellion. But anyway, so yeah, shielded 2/2. We all know it's annoying. There's a lot of things that make shielded 2/2s in the set, and I think those decks are going to be competitive decks. I don't know if they're going to be the top tier decks. Don't get me wrong, but I think they do have a lot of strength in them. So it's both that, and the other thing I'm cheating on here is also Sentinels. There's a lot of Sentinels in this set. There's a lot of Sentinels in this set, and overall, Fantasy Flight is definitely trying to slow the game down. And you can see that in the design sense of all the Sentinels, all this stuff. Yes, they have things that are faster, but they have a lot of things that are slowing things down at the same time.
Well, I was
So
gonna
it's
say
kind of a mix back and forth.
I don't know that it's necessarily that they're trying to slow things down, more so that they're trying to encourage board interactions via units rather than
Yes.
events. And a lot
Yes.
of that to like almost like to force the interaction is you have the sentinels and you have shielded units. So it's like, okay, I can put this unit down and oh, it's going to shield, it's going to survive. Or I can put this unit down and you have to run into this unit or go around it or deal with it in some way, shape, or form. So I think they're trying to force the interaction aspect of it with these
Yeah.
two mechanics more so than they're trying to just, hey, we're gonna pack a bunch of sentinels into the thing. So
Yeah, it's first that interaction. It's also, I mean, again, they definitely do want to slow the game down a little bit. We see that with a lot more higher cost leaders in the set as well. Like they do want to see the game slow down a bit more, and especially post the next rotation, depending on what we see next set, obviously it probably will slow down even more significantly at that point, but we'll see. That's looking too far in the future. Instead, let's talk more about the current set and go on to my next card. My number 4 on my list is Cad Bane Leader. I think you're going to be seeing a lot of Cad Bane. Again, I don't think he is this overpowered, unstoppable leader, but I think he's very good. His pinging ability is very strong. He's kind of the leader that is going to help keep these Mandalorian decks under control. Not the only one, obviously, but he's got a very strong answer for those shields, just being able to ping them off anytime he wants.
oh, I
So we're seeing a
failed. I
lot of
didn't I
power
didn't
out of
load the
him.
leader side. I should have loaded the leader side to it.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, on the leader side, you tap him and then you just deal 1 damage to a unit with two or more remaining HP, just like his on
You
attack.
exhaust him.
Exhaust him, yes, exhaust him. But so I'm seeing a lot of good out of Cad Bane. I think there's going to be some very strong builds with Cad Bane. Underworld has a lot of synergy still, and he's going to be able to design around that. So I think he's one we're going to be seeing a lot of, especially as the meta matures even more, because he does tend to be more of that mid range and even slightly control-y is a good build. Although I'm sure there's probably some other builds, like a red yellow is one I think could be interesting.
That's what I'm building right now.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah.
So one thing to consider and keep in mind is Cat Bane can hit your own
Yes,
units. If you would
that's
like
big.
to, for whatever reason, then you can absolutely do that. And one way that it's good sometimes is this unit, which I weaved into his list. The
Yep.
cyborg mech is actually something that I think you will see a staple in Cad Bane,
Yes.
mainly because this is one of the only ways to do 5 damage, and 5 is a big threshold point. And in fact, with Cad Bane, it kind of turns into 6 because
Yep.
it's if it's a undamaged ground unit, it's 2. If it's a damaged ground unit, it's 5, which then essentially rolls into 6 because of that fact. Which on the
Yep.
6 flip will kill a lot of leaders because if they flip their leader, a lot of 5 cost and 6 cost leaders have that 6 health. You're going to be doing 1 damage to ping them and then drop this and just take out their unit unless they upgraded it in some way, shape, or form. That 5 damage threshold is a big one. Then on top of that, this has grit. So later on, you can just, oh, I'm going to ping my own unit and make it stronger and start going at their face after that if you really wanted to. Stuff like
Yep.
that will be integral that you have both attacking and defensive capabilities with that ping. So just to keep that in mind.
Yep. Yeah. No. Again. Yeah. Very strong. I think this Cad is going to be very good. The Cad Bane's back. It's the same Cad Bane. He's pinging you all day long. It's
Just in a
the
different
more
way,
things change,
just
the more
slightly
they say
different.
say the same. They just tweaked him a little bit. That's it. A little bit difference, but it's still the same old Cad Bane.
Well, now you have
So
control over the ping versus before you didn't. The difference
yeah,
is that it's got a little restriction on it. So you can't actually kill anybody with it. You just get them within an inch of their life.
yeah, you just get him to 1 health and then can easily kill them with anything.
Sure.
So yeah, he's very good at I think control. He's going to be a mid range to a control deck, a mid range to control range. He
The
is
other
not an
thing,
aggro deck,
no,
that's for
but
sure.
the other thing I've been seeing people use with him, which you'll love to hear this, Corey,
Yeah.
is
What?
topple the summit.
Oh God. Yep. That's yep.
So
That
because
works
he
great with him.
pings and can weaken down your opponent's units, you can kind of get them within a range to then flip topple the summit and everybody dies. So
Oh, more flip topples. Great.
there you go.
Well, I know what my main deck is already. I've got
All
it
right.
figured out already.
Moving on to your number 3.
Number 3 is another cheat. I told you there was another cheat in here. This is my other cheat. And this is actually a couple cards just to kind of highlight something I'm seeing that it looks like the way with this set is going is we're finally getting those big, dangerous units. That has been lacking heavily. And that is why I think control hasn't been as dominant because we have not had as many of those game changing big cards. We have a lot more of them in this set. So I wanted to highlight, first of all, the Trash Walker. Trash Walker, it's the Trash Walker.
There's
Everybody
a
calls it
K.
Trash
It's a
Walker.
K.
It's a Trash Walker. Look, that's a misprint. The K is a misprint. It should be an H. But this is, I mean, yes, it is the Timu Sparker Rebellion Reinforcement Walker, but it's a very good Timu version. It's very close, and even in some ways better because you get to pick and choose the units that you're pulling. You're not drawing just off the top of your deck and getting whatever random thing it is. You're picking out of your discard pile of any card up to 7, or any unit up to 7. So I like that a lot. It does require you to play units, which I do think is nice because it's not gonna control's not gonna get out of hand. They actually got to get units in their discard for this to be useful. But I think this is something you're gonna see a lot of play of. The next card in this duo is the other one that I think is gonna see a lot of play is the new Chimera. This card is really good, folks. I mean, it was obvious when we saw it immediately, but yeah, it's really good. That if it stays out, I had a game recently where I healed 14 health over the duration of it being out, including because of a legacy run, wiping out an entire board on the other side and just healing me for a ton. It's gross. It is so much heal. It is insanely good. So we're seeing the power in the late game again. So now I think this is also going to help the game shift to be probably a little slower. Aggro's still going to be good. Don't get me wrong. That is an opportunity actually for aggro. Back to our old triangle of, oh, if we start going more to the control route, aggro suddenly becomes better because it can outrace that control deck. So
I don't know that it
it's going to be
can.
interesting to see. Yeah, maybe potentially,
I
but
like
yes,
I don't know. I don't see the
I
aggro at the moment.
yeah, I do think overall though, yeah, the late game is looking really, really strong now. So I think that's where a lot of this game is going to play out. That's why I wanted to highlight these two. These are not the only two. There are other very, very good ones. There's a couple of triangles, a couple of the Imperial the destroyers that I can't remember which the names of them, but those are really good. There's a number of them that are
Ravager,
very strong. Ravager, yep,
Ravager,
there's one.
and Eviscerator are the two other big ones that came out.
Yep.
That's green and red, respectively.
Yep, those are very good. Ninth Sister is a very good red. Another very good red. There's a
He's not
lot
a
of strong
triangle.
stars. She's not a triangle, but she's a very good another 7 drop. Like we're seeing a lot of that. So we're seeing a lot of good, like the 6, 7, 8 range looks very powerful in this set. And I think that is going to shift this meta.
Probably, probably. All right,
Yep.
your next one.
The next one is, oh boy, is this card good. I'm testing this card. I'm playing with this. Obviously, and you're going to see this in the near future. Thrawn 4, it's insanely broken in. Like it's in Thrawn 4, this card is disgusting. It's a 3 cost, double when defeated whenever you want, redo a when played, whatever. It doesn't. I think Morgan is one of the grossest cards with that. You drop that on Morgan, get a double -2/-2 on a unit, attack with another unit, and if it dies, get another -2/-2 on something. And yeah, in one action. It's just, whoa, that's a lot. So it's very powerful. But I also don't think it should be just Thrawn 4. This card is very strong in any deck that has ambush units, when played units, shielded units, even sentinels. Your sentinel gets down to half-ish health. Your Paul's Index, your Chirrut is down to half-ish health. They swing into it, they get 4 damage on it. You reset your Chirrut. Gross. You use it to reset your Halston's Assassin and get another -3/-3. It's very good. This card, I don't think it's an auto like 3 of every deck, but I think most villainy decks should look at 1 or 2 if they have a good number of when playeds, when defeateds, or units that for some reason they might want to reset. I'm finding that this is a really powerful card.
Yep. I don't have much to add other than yikes.
Yeah, it's
I can think of some gross combinations already with this that even trump what you just mentioned. So
oh
it's
I've once the game goes long, I've done the let's drop Ninth Sister and for 7, make you discard a card, do a bunch of damage, and then one must destroy to create Ninth Sister and do it a second time.
sure.
It's gross. It is, yeah, this card is, I mean, yeah, it has so much use case. I was talking about with it with another guy. I'm like, at least, yeah, especially Thrawn 4, it's an auto 3 of, because we were talking about tweaks and he's like, maybe you just go to 2. I'm like, no, it's a 3. I actually cut one of the 6-drop, the Legend of Force Chimera. I brought that down to 2 because this is just a better version of it for me. It has more usability
In a lot of
and
ways.
it's
So
3.
that's a good point to bring up because I think as we hit the fifth set of the season, right?
Yes.
We are now starting to see redundancy come into play. And
Yep.
redundancy is where control decks start to thrive because instead of
Yep.
only having 3 copies of a card that does X, I can now get 6 copies of a card that does X. Slightly different ways, but if it's a powerful card, like if you were able to get the double trigger off of a Chimera and not lose the unit that with the when defeated triggered off of, that was a huge tempo swing in your favor in a Thrawn deck. Now
Yep.
you have the capability of doing the exact same thing on a card that costs you half as much. It's
Yes.
where again the redundancy hits hard, and it's how does one like overcome said scenario? It's very, very difficult to do that when you're on the other end of that stick. And so yeah, that's Yeah, we're going to start seeing a lot more control-ish type decks hit the board, and we're going to have to see, can an aggro build actually come out that can survive the redundancy or have enough redundancy of their own to circumvent that? Uh, Yet to be seen, but this definitely is a very powerful card and one that I think you will be seeing in quite a few decks, like Corey said, even beyond Thrawn 4.
Yeah, no, it is not a Thrawn 4 only. I think you need to open your mind if you're trying to just think about it about getting when defeated. As I mentioned, think about ambush units and just get another ambush unit. Why don't I one must destroy to create my curse stand or whatever it is? Like things like that. Like if you're a villainy deck, you should definitely at least test one of these in your deck and maybe go to two. I recommend it. Start thinking about ways you can take advantage of it because it is at 3 cost. This is insanely powerful.
Yeah, I almost feel like it's undercosted for what it's doing.
Oh, it's
So
way undercosted. I would not disagree with that. I think it's going to cause, yeah, it makes control decks really terrifying. I mean, it just so many things that you can just big win plays that you can just repeat again.
side note, I do think it's some of the best artwork in the entire set that I've seen.
So I don't want to go too far into this, but Envar Entertainment is an AI art shop, and I'm not a big fan of that on cards. This has been one that's been talked about in the community a bit. Is yeah, they do have artists, but they do also say they extensively use AI in their generation of art. So I'm not a big fan of that. I like the other cards that are done by actual artists, Vincent Dutray's stuff and things like that. Reno's amazing. I'm not a big fan of the use of AI in art.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. But
Next.
anyway, my number one is obviously the most important card of the set. We've got Wicket. I mean, look at this guy. He's unstoppable. A 1 cost 2/3. He's got Saboteur. Never mind the fact he can't attack
No,
bases, but
I was
he's
just gonna say he is stoppable. You just have to be a base and you're stopped in your tracks. Cold stop.
no, I mean we all know. Obviously, this is a joke, but I do love Be My Wicket. He is not a good card, unfortunately, but I'm going to have him in my Ewok deck when that happens.
I don't think he's a terrible card. I think he
He's
has
not
very
terrible.
limited
1 cost 3/3.
uses.
Good. He's a card for killing other things. He's useful for that, and he's good at that.
He
The
takes out that
Saboteur is also
4/3 shielded sentinel that's blue like it's butter.
that is true. Yeah, so he does have value. Okay, don't get me wrong. He's decent, but my real number one is I think what I feel like maybe one of the big problem cards this set, and that is the Dark Saber. I think this is going to quickly turn out to be an issue. Decks do need to build around it, but I think we're going to see some decks build around it and be very terrifying. The big problem with this, and the reason I'm not happy with this card even existing, is that middle text attached unit is a leader unit. Joey likes to complain about Chewy and not loving, well, yeah, maybe not complaining that much, but not getting frustrated that you don't have a good way to interact with him as much.
I don't
Uh,
complain or I love Chewy. He's one of my favorite cards in the entire game. What are you talking about?
Okay, never mind. But anyway, I'm kidding. Chewy is tough to deal with. This is another Chewy for any non-vehicle unique units. If you have a deck, and I can already see the argument of, well, but it's only unique units. You can pretty easily build a deck that's 99% unique units at this point in time. There's a lot of very powerful unique units, so I don't think that's going to be restrictive. And this is actually more restrictive than Chewy in some ways, because guess what? No glory doesn't work on this. You can't kill this unit with no glory, no results. Your only way to kill this unit is to swing into it and kill it, if that's possible, or you need to have either retaliation after it swings or some type of upgrade removal. And again, upgrade removal is at a premium. So I think this is going to make for very powerful decks utilizing this, that are when people build around this and build around ways to protect the unit that they give it to.
I don't think you are thinking about enough things.
Okay. And I
There
might be wrong,
is
but this is my thought right now.
there is a new yellow card in Yellow Villainy. Um, I can't remember what the name of it is. I think it's like the Struggle Within or something like that. That is a 2 cost, gives a unit +2/+2, but bounces all upgrades on that unit back to their owner's hands.
Yeah.
So that then exposes said unit to be able to be removed by removal cards at that point in time. Depending on what unit they put this on, if it's a 3 cost or less, you can still tree
Tree
remembers it,
remembers. Yep.
it
Tree remembers is
wiping
okay.
everything out. It still retains its leader quality, but tree remembers doesn't care if you're a leader. It just cares if you
Yep.
cost 3 or less. So you still have to be careful about what type of unit, even unique, that you put this on.
Oh yeah.
There
No,
is
I'm not
always
disagreeing on
upgrade
that.
removal. Now, I will tell you my 2 favorite interactions with this exist in these cards. First,
Yeah.
Rider Azadi. Rider Azadi is a new card, 2/5, costs 3. It's very indicative of your regional governor from Spark of the
Oh
Rebellion.
well, actually, before we talk about that, I did want to actually say the one thing. The card that bounces, yes, is a good yellow card. I can't remember what the name of that one is, but I agree it's good. I don't think it's the best answer because it's going back to their hand, so they can replay it on something else. Like it's still coming back to them. It's slowing
Sure.
them down a little, but I still think they have a problem card in their hand, and you're not getting rid of it by bouncing it back to them.
Sure.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
anyway,
saying that
yes, as you were saying.
there's answers. So Rider Azadi, you get to name a
Yep.
card, and while this unit is in play, opponents cannot play cards with that name. So you play Rider Azadi, you name Tree Remembers, then you put the Dark Saber on Rider Azadi. You eliminated basically the major one that's going to be able to kill him outright, and
Yep.
now you have to deal with him otherwise. Now, Rider Azadi is still susceptible to upgrade removal in that regard. My
Yep.
other favorite card, which I'm going to have to just show you because I didn't load it properly to put it on, is a card you've probably never seen and laughed about the entire time, which is
Oh,
Winslow
Willow.
or Willow. What is it? No, Wilrow.
It's Willow.
Wilrow Hood.
Wilrow.
So
Yeah, yeah.
Wilrow states while this unit has exactly one friendly upgrade on it, that upgrade cannot be defeated or returned to your hand by other abilities. So
Oh,
Will
I didn't even
Will
think about that one.
right?
That's gross. That's
Wilrow
gross.
is susceptible to Tree Remembers because you can always kill him that way.
Yep.
Rider is susceptible to upgrade removal. So, depending on what type of deck your opponent runs, if you run both of these, then you have an answer or an equipable person to put the Dark Saber on. I think cards like the Dark Saber do need to exist because of the multitude of removal things that we have in the game. If you
I'll
don't
give
have
you
cards like
that.
that, huh?
I mean, I'll give you they help with that a lot. Yes, I don't disagree. Things like Chewy need to exist. I don't think giving a unit leader is a good idea, though. That's my. I don't think that's great when you have so few ways to deal with leaders right now.
Well, I mean, but the whole thing is that the thing that's giving them the leader is no different than Chewy giving somebody immunity, if you will, right?
Yeah,
And honestly, let's look at the meta right now. How many Chewies do you actually see in the meta? There's a
not a
lot of
ton. There's some.
answers. There's a lot of
Yeah.
answers for Chewy. He's been around for so long that people have come up with great answers. Upgrade removal is the easiest answer for getting rid of a Chewy. And then you get blown out if you throw a Chewy on something and then it just gets removed. You're in a bad place. I think
Oh yeah.
Darksaber is going to be in the same predicament. Is I put a Darksaber on somebody and you have upgrade removal? It doesn't matter. The leader factor doesn't matter. I think it's a great,
Agreed.
strong card. I think it's needed, and I think it introduces some interesting ways to build because you have these now cards that require or look at leader interactions, or what is the one that's like if as long as this is the only non-leader unit you have, well, now I can have my leader plus another unit with a Darksaber plus another unit and still get that bonus. So I think it's opening up a space. We've never had another card that gave somebody the leader trait before. I think it's interesting to play around, and I think they've done it in a way that is not like in a permanent style that's going to super break the game. It will be strong, but I do not think it is backbreakingly strong.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Obviously, this is just my initial thoughts from reading through the spoiler list and haven't done a ton of testing. Like, I've been obviously doing some of it, but I haven't done a ton just yet. But I do think I think a lot of decks are going to have a problem dealing with decks that utilize, especially green decks utilizing both the Dark Saber and Chewy, which is an obvious build. I think Luke Data Vault finds a way to utilize that and is very gross with it. So like I think things like that are going to be rough to deal with.
Possible. But again, if we see the rise in control decks, we need cards like that to exist to have to give them something to work around.
Potentially.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's your list of 5. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So I came up with a couple others that I wanted to highlight. The first one is Reforge. I think
Yep.
Reforge is a fantastic card. Mainly because it has both offensive and defensive utilization. And it is now a blue card that can help get rid of negative effects on your units, such as Condemn, such as
Yep.
Shadow over Stygian Prime. As much as it pains me to say that, because I love that card so much, this is now
It's
a
a
card
great
that can
card.
get rid of that. It then also, in a controlled deck, would allow you to find a craving power and slap a craving power on somebody in exchange
Yep.
for whatever upgrade it was. You can get rid of shield tokens, you can get rid of XP tokens, you can get rid of advantage tokens. The ability to kind of like sift through and find that thing, it's almost like a tutor to get that upgrade that you really need. Now, I
Yep.
recently had, and you will see in a game, I had the new Astral whatever upgrade it is that it's a it's a 0-3 upgrade, cost 1, and allows you to double your how many cards you search through when you're searching for something. I played Reforge after I had that in play, which meant I get to look through 16 cards to find what I'm
Oh,
looking for.
jeez.
I
That's a lot.
still whiffed.
Of
It,
course. Of
it
course.
totally brought back like memories of Triple Dark Raid, where it's like I would search through my top 7 or 8 or whatever, and all of a sudden it's like I didn't find anything. My opponent does it, finds their Devastator. I'm like, what the heck? So
Yep. Yep.
it's a very good card, and I think it will see a lot of play. And I just think that this is going to see some good usage. So, and it does
I
work with the Dark Saber.
a lot of play. I mean, I think it's going to see at least a lot of sideboard play because yes, I think it is. If you're playing against a control deck that's playing Condemns, playing Stygians, all those pieces, anything that's putting negative things on your units, it's going to be auto have it in the sideboard to deal with, especially if you're not red to deal with upgrades anyway. I don't know if it's an auto add. You need to have at least enough upgrades to get the value out of it. I think to have it in the main deck.
Sure. So,
Yeah, but I agree with you. It is it's another partial dealing with upgrade thing and helps with the issues of Condemn and Stygian being maybe a little more powerful than they should be right
yeah,
now.
it's not going to remove anything off of your opponent's units. Like you're not going to be able to get rid of pilots or nothing with it. So it's not replacing upgrade removal. I'm just saying it's like it's a great workaround for some of the problem cards your opponents can play on
Yep.
you.
Yep.
So
100%.
all right. Next up, we have Enoch. I think Enoch is a sleeper busted card, perfectly honest. I think his when defeated, which states you may deal up to 6 damage to your base. The next unit you play this phase costs 1 less for every 2 damage you dealt in this way. I can already think of some crazy combos with this that is like
Yep.
you can look at that as like that's a 3 ramp off of a 4/5 body for 4, which is perfectly on par, right?
Yeah. Four, five, and 4 is a good body.
And depending on what you are putting into play, you could put something into play that heals you the damage that you just dealt to yourself, and it doesn't matter at that point in time. You could put something into play that has restore that Might take a couple turns, but it's going to get you that restored life as well. And I think like my the combination that I can already think of off the top of my head that just makes me just shudder is Krennic on turn one. This now comes down as a 3-drop because of the win
Yep.
defeated discount in a Krennic deck. So now the next turn I swing into something for there's a 4/5. I kill my own unit to get a credit. I'm on 4 resources. That gives me basically a credit makes 5. You do the 6 damage yourself. I'm putting an 8-drop into play on the 4 resource turn.
Yep. It's
What
very good.
in the heck? This
Yeah,
is going
he's
to get nuts really quick, guys. And I just don't think that -6 that everyone's going to like, oh, it's too much damage. I don't think so. I think, I mean, can you imagine this in a Piet deck? Well, then you're getting
yeah,
the discount on a capital ship after you kill your Enoch as well, in addition to. You could
yep.
run choke on aspirations, which, oh, I'm going to do 4 damage to my Enoch, healing 4 damage that I'm just basically going to put right back onto myself when I run him into somebody and kill him, just
Yep.
so then I can get the discount on my next big thing that I'm putting into play. There's
Hmm.
so many combinations of things that I think you can do with this that this is just a built-in ramp 3. I mean, people are already talking about Lando being a problem with his like, hey, I get 3 credit tokens when I flip over. Now here's a Liberty on 6. I think Enoch does things far faster. Can you imagine a Trask uh, Walker coming into play with 4 resources that then gets you your Enoch
Yep.
back?
Yep. Well,
What?
or
Or
I
heals the
mean, I
damage?
I was gonna say, you could one must destroy to create basically for free, if you're gonna follow up with a unit on him, and
Sure.
keep him, deal 6 damage, get a -3 discount on something. If he was, which I mean, yeah,
Well,
you're not gonna do it for no reason, but say he was damaged and he was like, he had 2 health left or something. You're like, let's reset his health, get a discount on a unit at the same time to make this one must destroy to create basically free. Like
well, it
things like
pays for
that
the one must
are
destroy,
powerful.
basically. So anyway, I still think
Yeah.
that this card is just bonkers value. Bonkers value.
Yep, he's very good. He is very good for blue green villainy decks. Yep,
Yeah.
you're gonna be seeing a lot of him
Yeah.
in those.
So lastly, I have what I'm calling Falcon at home. Um Picking on the trend of everybody else's Falcon thing. Or at the at home thing. Already 3/2. It's not as good as the Falcon was from Spark of the Rebellion, but there's a lot of instances where this just is gross. Biggest one I can
Yep.
think of, Grief Karga. Comes into play,
Yeah,
gets the advantage token, you sacrifice the advantage token it got to ready it, and then swing for 3.
yeah.
That's
No,
Falcon.
it's very good at grief. Yeah, I think grief. I mean, it's designed for grief. That's a card I think designed for him, honestly.
Sure.
Um, but works with other people too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree. It's a very strong card. I mean, it's not broken strong, but it's very good.
Yep.
And I mean, yeah, you need a friendly upgrade to defeat. Obviously, that's the biggest piece of it. But there's a lot of ways to have that nowadays, especially a lot of shielded Mandalorians, as I mentioned. They can easily ready it. So there's a lot of good use in that card, I think.
I would say any leader that can create a upgrade in some way, shape, or form, be it like a
Sure.
token or a unit or something that creates an upgrade or manipulates an upgrade, this is going to slot right into that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. If you have
it's,
recurring upgrades in some way, he's an obvious play.
yeah. There are several cards in Ashes that I think are going to definitely see deck play, and I think are going to definitely change how the things are played. There's several leaders that I think just their innate abilities will change how people play this game. I think Ashes
Yep.
overall is going to bring a big positive change to the game, and I'm actually looking forward to it. The only thing I'm skeptical of is how the limited's going to play out.
Yeah, I'm curious about the limited. I'll give it a try, and I hope I'm wrong, but I'm not overly excited about it right now. But yeah, I think this will be. I mean, from what I'm testing so far, I haven't tested a ton of stuff, but things I'm testing, things I'm playing against, and seeing so far, videos people are making, I'm seeing some good things. I'm seeing some very powerful decks. I'm not seeing anything that feels more powerful than, for example, like Lando or Boba or any of those strong decks. But I'm feeling like there's a lot of decks on par. It looks to me like there's a lot of decks that are going to be at that same power level. And yes, those decks got some help, but I don't think those decks got so much help that they're going to be that much more dominant or anything like that.
Only time will tell.
Yep. We'll see. I might be wrong. If we're wrong, we've got this video record now that shows. And if I'm right, we definitely have this video record that shows. And I want to highlight that everywhere. But we'll see how things play out. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far and what I'm playing so far. I think this set does add a lot of what I like to the game. A lot more of the, as I mentioned, slowing things down a little bit more.
Yep. Anyway, that's going to wrap us up for this weekly SWUmary for you. Stay tuned because we'll have more Thursday throwdowns with our Ashes ideas and see if you can guess what we're going to be doing. So,
Yeah,
catch you
be
next time.
fun. Thanks, everyone.